Jayo Radhe, Jayo Radhe, Jayo Sri Radhe.
Jayo Radhe, Jayo Radhe, Jayo Radhe, Jayo Shri Radhe.
Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai.
Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai.
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada.
Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Vishnupadavaramhamsa Parivrajaga Acharya Stotra Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Bhagavan Maharaj Ki
Jai.
Om Vishnupadavaramhamsa Parivrajaga Acharya Stotra Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Ki
Jai.
Nanda Gauri Vaishnava Vrinda Ki
Jai.
Amacharya Das Thakur Ki
Jai.
प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की
Jai.
जय गो प्रेमानंदे
Hari Bol.
all glories to assembled devotees,
Hare
all
Krishna,
glories to
Hare
assembled
Krishna,
devotees,
Hare
all glories to
Krishna,
assembled
Hare
devotees. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Hare Krishna. Report.
Hare Krishna.
Heavy rains lashing outside. Can you hear me properly?
Can hear. Can
Right.
hear clearly.
Right. So reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 7, knowledge of the absolute. Today's verses 28 to 30, the last three verses of the chapter. So verse 28. Yesham tvandagadam papam jananam punyakarmanam te dandamoha nirmuktva bhajande mam dhravradaha. Yesham tvandagadam papam jananam punyakarmanam te dandvamoha nirmukta bhajande mam dhravradaha. Yesham tu andagada prabham jananam punyakarmanam te dvandamoha nirmukta bhajande mam dhridavradaha. Siddhartha Maharaj.
Yesham Tvan Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Yesham Tvandagadam Papam Jananam Punyakarmanam Tve Dvandamoha Nirmukta Bhajande Mam Dhridavradaha. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Vaikri Maharaji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Here come on.
Okay, come.
Yeah. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Yesham Tundagatam Papam Jananam Punyakarmanam Te Dvanda Moha Nirmukta Bhajande Ma Dhridavrata. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Evolve. Yes.
Translation.
Shalini Maharaji, can you read? Okay, Siddhartha Maharaj, you can read the translation.
Persons who have acted piously in previous life and in this life, and whose sinful actions are completely eradicated, are freed from the dualities of delusion, and they engage themselves in my service with determination. Hare Krishna.
Right. Verse 29. Jara marana mokshaya mamashritya yadandire te brahma tadvidu kritsnam yatmam karma chakilam jara marana mokshaya amashritya yadandiye te brahma tadvidu kritsnam adhyatmam karma chakilam jara marana mokshaya mamashritya yadandiye te brahma tadvidu kritsnam adhyatmam karma chakilam. Vaikri Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Jara marana mokshaya mamasritya yadandiye te brahma tarvidu krishna madhyatmam karma chakilam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Right. Siddhartha.
Hare Krishna. Jara marana mochaya mama sitya yadandi te brahma tadvidu krishnam adhyatmam karma chakilam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Read the translation also.
Intelligent persons who are endeavoring for liberation from old age and death take refuge in me in devotional service. They are actually Brahman because they entirely know everything about transcendental activities. Hare Krishna.
Right. Verse 30. Sadhubodadi daivam mam sadhiyajnam cha ye viduhu prayanakale vichamam te vidur yukta chetasaha sadhibodadi daivam mam sadhiyajnam cha ye viduhu prayanakale vichamam te vidur yukta chetasaha साधिभूतादिदैवं मां साधियज्ञं च ये विदुः प्रयाणकालेऽपि च मां ते विदुर्युक्तचेतसः. सीताराक्वाणी.
Hare Krishna. Sadhibudadidaivam mam sadhiyajnam chaye vidu prayanakale bijamam te vidur yukta chetasaha. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Vaikri Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Sadhibodani devam mam sadhiyajnam cha ye vidu prayanakale mam te vidu yukta chedasa.
Hari Bol.
Hare Bol.
Right. Siddhartha can read the translation.
Those in full consciousness of me
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Couldn't hear for a while.
Yeah. You can read once more.
The translation.
Yes.
Those in full consciousness of me, who know me, the Supreme Lord, to be the governing principle of the material manifestation of the demigods and of all methods of sacrifice, can understand and know me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, even at the time of death.
Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilidam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakada Mahyam Dadadi Swapadandhigam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Udavadagamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsa Shri Rupam Sagrajadam Sahagana Raghunathanvidam Tam Sajivam Sadvaidam Savadutam Parijana Saidam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalidam Shri Vishakhanvidam Sa. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagalpade Gopesha Gopika Kanda Radha Kanda Namastude Saptakanjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanasude Devi Pranamami Haripriye. Vancha kalpadruveshcham kripa sindhubhyeva cham patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimade Bhaktivedanta Swamini Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Yesham Twandagadam Pavam Jananam Punyakarmanam Te Dvandvamoha Nirmukta Bhajande Mam Dridhapradaha. Persons who have acted piously in previous lives and in this life, whose sinful actions are completely eradicated and who are freed from the duality of delusion, engage themselves in my service with determination. Hare Krishna. So Krishna was explaining in the last verses why people cannot know him. Krishna is very sad. He said that I know everything. I know the present. I know the past. I know the future. And I know the living entities. But unfortunately, nobody knows me. So, and then Krishna explains why it is so in the last verse. Icha dvesha samuthena dandvamohena bharata sarabhutani sammoham sarge yanti paramtapa. All living entities is born in delusion, overcome by dualities of desire and hate. So moha and samoha. Moha means illusion, samoha means bewilderment. All the living entities of the 84 lakhs, which are appearing 84 lakh species, are always in a state of illusion and bewilderment right from the creation. Not that they became bewildered or illusion overcame them very recently. No, it's not like that. Right from the beginning of creation, ever since they entered this material world, they have been in a delusion and illusion and bewilderment. The cause being that actually the basic reason is that we came here for enjoyment under the illusion that we are independent. This is the first illusion. We thought that we are independent, we are separate from Krishna. We have our individuality, say, of course, it is established. But that individuality is always dovetailed to Krishna. The individual consciousness is always dovetailed to universal consciousness. Universal consciousness is Krishna, and individual consciousness is Jiva. So Jiva, by its constitutional position, is always dovetailed and always a part of universal consciousness. It's like a spark of fire in the Agni Kunda. The fireplace is there. So many sparks are flying this way and that way. But these sparks are only part of as fireplace of fire or Homagunda. When we think that we are separate from Krishna and we want to enjoy independently without Krishna, that is the primary cause, the single cause of our entry into the material world. So under illusion that we are enjoyers, we try to enjoy the natural resources which are available in the 24 elements, which is made up of the material universes. And also we want to enjoy with the body senses. So the illusion is that we want to enjoy with the body and senses. And when we are in the illusion that we are this body, because when we want to enjoy with the body, we come to the illusion that we are this body and senses. And then the bodily expansions like wife, children, husband, society, clan, country, which are only byproducts of this body or the expansions of the body. When we start identifying ourselves with them, aham mameti, Srimad Bhagavatam very clearly says that one who identifies himself with the three elements, yasya atma buddhi kunape tridhaduge sudhi kalatradishu bhavamo ijjadi yatirtha buddhe salena karhichit janeshu abhijneshu sa eva gokara. One who identifies himself with the body is made of three dhatus, Pitta, Vada, Kaba, and whose intelligence is that this is my wife, this is my children, this is my country. And when you go to a dham or tirthas, holy places, you are going there only take some dip in the holy rivers and not to associate yourself with advanced Babajis residing in that area, in the dham. Your only interest is to just take a bath in that rivers and say that the temples and deities, yes, it is nice, but the ultimate purpose of coming to holy places is that the holy places are always full of very advanced Babajis, very advanced spiritualists, and you have to take association of these spiritualists. Otherwise, the purpose of going to holy places is not served. But the person who thinks that this is only required, that you just take a bath in the rivers only. So such persons are compared to donkeys. So we are illusioned by this bodily concept. And when we are illusion, the dualities present themselves. Dualities are always there in material world. It's always there. They are always present. Heat, cold, happiness, sorrow, honor, dishonor. So many things are there. And when these dualities are there, because our vasana is embedded in our mind, we react. We react to these dualities either by having a great attachment, ichha, or raga, or aversion, dvesha. Either we like this situation or like these things, or we hate them. So duality is always there, but the problem is when we are reacting to these or responding these dualities on the basis of our vasanas by way of attachment and aversion. That is the cause for our continued existence. So ichha-desha samuddhena dvandva-mohena bharata sarvabhutani sammoham sarge yanti parantapa. So these people are illusion, and such people, they cannot understand Krishna. There is always a conflict between these living entities among themselves. We explain this swaparasthedi, paraswasthedi asagraha. He is there, I am here, my interest is different from his interest. there is always a clash of interests. And there's always a clash, and wrongly we think that we are in the controlling position. We try to identify that we are the supreme controllers, and we have got what you call aversion towards Krishna also, Krishna Dvesha. Ultimately, we want to feel that we are one with Krishna. So these kinds of conflicts are always there because created by Dvanta. So how to get out of this dualities? That is explained in verse 28. Yesham tu andagada pavam jananam punya karmanam. Because of sins only, because of sinful activities, because of continued sinful activities throughout their so many births, so many lives, we are in this very sorrow, pitiable condition. The first sin, the major sin, the first sin that living entity is that you are identifying yourself with the body. Mithya Hangara. This is the first sin. Based on this first sin only, we are committing other sins. So how to get out of this first sin, that's misidentifying yourself with the body, which is on due to illusion. These sinful sins has to be eradicated completely by doing pious activities, acting piously. When you say that you have to act pious, piety and all that, then we may be confused, because piety is also an activity, sin is also an activity, and we have learned the karma yoga that both sinful activities and pious activities have reactions, and because of the reactions we are continued to be in the realm of the material world, taking again births and births so many times. But pious activity actually here means, pious activity means those activities which are pleasing to the great souls. We are trying to please the great souls, the great associates of Krishna. The pure devotees of Krishna. So Krishna, Srila Prabhupada is mentioning this. It is mentioned that Mahat Sevam Dwara Mahahu Vimuktais. The best way to get liberated is to render service to the Mahat people, the great souls. And if you want to go to hell, Tamodwaram Yoshidam Sangi Sangam. The choice is again ours. We have the choice. Either we can say great souls, serve great souls, or you can serve Yoshid means ladies, girls, or women, or people who are very attached to women. That means you are choosing your association. Either you can choose great souls association, or people who are very lusty or fruitive activities, indulging in fruitive activities. So if you're serving great souls, naturally it will lead to liberation. And if you're serving these lusty people, it will prolong your continued existence. So again, there's Srimad Bhagavatam says, Vishnu Bhudani Bhutanam Pavanani Pavanani Charandihi. Vishnu Bhudani. Vishnu Bhudani means associates of Vishnu, pure devotees of Vishnu. Bhutanam Pavanani Charandihi. Charandi means they move about. They move about the whole universe. They traverse the whole universe. Or they traverse many places, house after house, countries after countries. They traverse all over. Why? For the purpose of Bhutanam Pavanani, for purifying the souls, conditioned souls or fallen souls. So they are magnanimous souls. They understand that the real problem that we have the foreign souls is on to account of separation from Krishna Vimukha. Because they become Krishna Vibhaka, they naturally fell into this material realm of dualities, and they are going to suffer for that. Only Krishna can take you out of this. Only Krishna can destroy this and give you and award you this liberation. When you have this duality that I am here and you are there, if you have this my people, your people, the conflicts are there. Only Krishna sayada anuvartapumsan pashubuddhir vividyade anya esha tadhanyoham idi bhedagadasadi. Sayada anuvartapumsan pashubuddhi vividyade. Only if he can only destroy, only Krishna can destroy this kind of dualities. I mean, this kind of what do you call? That I am different and you are different, the enmity between friends and himself. So when the Supreme Personality of Godhead is pleased with the living entity because of his devotional service, one becomes a Pandita and does not make the distinction between enemies, friends, and himself. Intelligently, he then thinks every one of us are eternal servant of God, and therefore we are not different from one another. But Krishna will be pleased. When Krishna will be pleased? Yasya prasadat bhagat prasado. When the pure souls of Krishna are pleased, only Krishna will be pleased with us. So the great necessity to take shelter of great souls like Srila Prabhupada, and that has been proven also. History is there. If you look at the 1960s and 70s scenario in America and Europe, so many people were just moving here and there without any kind of goal, or this is moving on doing some nonsense without a clue to what is life about, what is the real goal in life. They don't have any clue. They're just wandering here and there, indulging in all kind of sinful activities, and also making life hell for themselves as well as for others, indulging in criminal activities also. The whole state was, in the whole country, America itself, they're facing a lot of problems because of these hippies. But Srila Prabhupada came and he purified, and these devotees, these so-called hippies or forlorn people, youngsters who had lost a direction, they approached they could find solace in Srila Prabhupada. They started associating with Srila Prabhupada. And Srila Prabhupada, moving from one city to another city, he purified all those people completely by spreading devotional service, Hari Nam, and other devotional activities, introducing so many festivals, Jagannath Rath Yatra all over the world, Sankirtan parties, distributing prasadam, going on Sankirtan, distributing books, so many books Srila Prabhupada wrote, and all those devotional activities, pure activities. Because of that, and because these people, they supported Srila Prabhupada wholeheartedly, understanding Srila Prabhupada to be a pure devotee and trying to help him to spread Krishna consciousness, they were purified. So yesham tu andagada padam jananam punya. So punya karma means pleasing or rendering service to great souls, pure devotees of Krishna. They danda moha nirmukta bhajan de mam dridavada. Those people who have been favored by these pure devotees, they only can come out of these dualities and engage themselves in my service with determination. And what happens when that happens? It is mentioned, Jara marna mokshaya mam ashritya yadandiye te brahma tadvidu kutsnam adhyatmam karma chakilam. Intelligent persons who are enduring for liberation from old age and death take refuge in me in devotional service. They are actually Brahman because they entirely know everything about transcendental activities and fruitive activities also. It's actually Srila Prabhupada's translations like that only. Intelligent persons who are enduring for liberation from old age and death take refuge in me in devotional service. They're actually Brahman because they entirely know everything about transcendental and fruitive activities. Karma chakilam. Both are there. So the first goal of the people who are on the spiritual path, who are worshipping Krishna, is that to get out of this BODD. Krishna means, which Krishna states as a real problem faced by the living entities. Janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha doshana darshanam. 13th chapter says, this is a real problem we are facing. Others are temporary only. These are the causes of our real problem. Adhibodhigam, adhyatmam, adhibodhigam, and adhidaivigam. The threefold miseries we are facing on daily, in our lives, continuously. And to get out of that, the permanent solution is to worship Krishna and get out of this VODD. Temporary solutions may be there. In material life gives you some temporary solutions. For example, this duality of the heat and cold. When the summer, when there's great heat, humidity is there, temperature is going up, 47, 48. So if you're sitting in a room, if there is an AC is on, you feel some comfort. But this comfort is temporary only. Now people are being misled by these temporary comforts, and they think that these are the great things, and these are the real goal in life. Make this life comfortable by means of material sciences advancement. But Prahlad Maharaj says that for every problem, there is a solution. That solution gives a greater problem. That solution brings forth a greater problem. But which we don't understand. We don't understand that. The permanent solution is given here only. When you engage in devotion service, what happens? Jara marna mokshaya mamashitya idandite. So to get out of this cycle, we have to depend on Krishna only. Only Krishna can award liberation. Nobody else. Not Shiva, not Brahma, not Durga, Kartiyeya. Nobody can give you liberation. Only Krishna is able to give you liberation. Jara marna mokshaya mam ashritya yadandiye. Try to liberate it. And then they realize self, the Brahman, their realization is there. Brahma means the soul or the transcendence. They realize the Brahman, tadvidu kritsnam. Entirely, they understand all the activities related to transcendence, and they also understand what is the material activities. Because when you are not transcendently situated, you actually have no idea of material activities also, because we are doing that, but we have no idea about what actually we are performing. What is the nature of these activities, we don't know. But when you are transcendently situated, we know the real understanding of the spiritual activities and material activities. So activities are always there. The jnani, some people, the impersonalists, they say that stopping the activities is real liberation. Activities, karma only. And karma is always leading to bondage, and any type of karma is leading to bondage only. So stop all karma, all activities is real liberation. But here it is very clearly mentioned that they know both these activities, and they know about transcendental and fruitive activities. The 69th verse of 2nd chapter, which you are quoting sometimes, says, Ya nisha sarvabhudanam yasyam jagari samyami yasyam jagrati bhutani nisha pashyade mune. So the two types of people, the karmis and the yogis and the bhaktas. Karmis are indulging in fruitive activities, and the fruitive activities are like daylight for them. And for them, the transcendental activities are like night. But the people who are devotees, who are transcendentalists, they are always engaged in devotional activities. They don't indulge in these material activities, although they know about this. They know the implications or consequences of indulging in material activities. In that aspect, we are saying that it is mentioned that the transcendentalists know about material activities. The result of engaging in material activities is to continue your bondage. And the result of transcendental activities is to stop this bondage, cut this bondage, cut the rope of this bondage, and get liberated. So that once only, when you are in Krishna consciousness only, it can happen. Only people who are in Krishna consciousness can understand the real nature of transcendental activities and the real nature of material activities. So when you realize that Aham Brahmasmi, that I am the part of soul, the next is we understand that we are part of soul only. Sorry, part of Krishna only, or the super soul, part of super soul only. In that translation, these people are played havoc actually. A real original book is Macmillan's Krishna's Srila Prabhupada's original translation. But this enlarged version, and they have created their own ideas. In the last sentence of the first chapter, Srila Prabhupada, original version says, the pure devotees are transcendently situated in Brahman platform, and they know everything about transcendental and material activities. These people, they somehow, they got a misconception that people are on transcendental platform, they are engaged in only transcendental activities. They know they are ignorant about this one. They said that pure devotees are transcendently situated on the Brahman platform, and they know everything about transcendental activities. They have omitted these material activities. In the translation also, it is like that. So this has been subject of great criticism because so many changes they have made in Srila Prabhupada's original books, both in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, and other books also. Anyway, that's a different subject. So when you understand that you are soul, the next step is you understand that you have to elevate yourself to the Brahma knowledge. Brahman, not Brahman means Brahman Krishna. Parabrahman. Yeah, Brahman is nearby Parabrahman. And that is given in the next verse. Sadi Budadi Devam Mam Sadi Yatnam Chaye Viduhu Prayana Kale Bichamam Ye. Sorry, Prayana Kale Chibi Mam Te Vidur Yukta Chedasa. So this this person, this transcendentalist, he's a jnani, interest in liberation. So we have to understand that this particular person is jnani, is interested in liberation, not the other jnani which is mentioned in the 16th chapter, 16th verse. The other jnani is only interested in rendering devotional service, is not looking for liberation. But this particular jnani, of course, Krishna favors him also, because actually he's approaching Krishna for liberation. So he is favored with liberation. So the person who is rendering the devotional service, understanding that you are part of Krishna, then he understands that Sadi Budadi Devam Mam Sadi Yajnam Chate Viduhu. He understands that they know me as a supreme Lord, as the governing principles of material manifestation, and who know me as one underlying all the demigods, as the one underlying all the demigods, and as one sustaining all sacrifices, can with steadfast mind understand and know me even at the time of death. So having realized the self, then they proceed to realize the Supreme Bhagavan. So who is Krishna? Krishna is Adhibhuda, Adideva, and Adiyajna. Adhibhuda means he is a governing principle, all material manifestations, complete manifestation, material, whatever is there in the material manifestation, Krishna, it is Krishna only. And he is Adi Devata. Adi Devata means Virat Purusha, part of the Purusha, the Devas. They're also part of Krishna. And Adi Yajna means sustaining all sacrifices in his capacity as a Paramatma. So when you understand Krishna in these three aspects as Adibhuda, Adiyajna, and Adideva and Adiyajna, at the time of death, at the time of departure, when you are leaving this body, then they can understand Krishna properly, perfectly. So these six concepts, which is mentioned in the last two verses, Brahma, Adhyatma, Karma, Adhibodam, Adidevam, and Adiyajna. Krishna mentions this is, and Arjuna's inquisitiveness is developed. So he wants to know more about this. So 8th chapter starts with Arjuna's question. He is asking these questions: Kim Brahma, Kim Tad Brahma? What is this Brahman? Kim Adhyatmam? What is this Adhyatma? Kim Karma? Adibudam Chakim? And Adidevam Kim Uchade? And Adiyajna, he is asking about Adiyajna also in the first two verses of 8th chapter. So we'll be discussing the 8th chapter from next week onwards. So Saturday we'll be having pentathlon. So get prepared for the pentathlon. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Any clarification? Right. Thank you very much. Siddhartha Krani Maharaja can render nothing with them.
Simhaya Namaste Narasimhaya Praladadadayini Hiranyakashiporvachaha Shilatanga Nakalaye Ito Narsimha Parado Narsimha Yedo yami tado narsimha Bahye narsimho Hridaye narsimho Narasimha Madim Charanam Prabhati Tava Kara Kamalavare Nakam Adbuddha Singam Dalita Hiranyakasipu Tanubringa Keshavadruda Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jayo Narsimhadev, Jayo Narsimhadev, Jayo Narsimhadev, Jayo Narsimhadev, Jayo Narahari, Jayo Narahari, Jayo Narahari, Jayo Narahari, Jayo Lakshmi Narasimha, Jayo Lakshmi Narasimha, Lakshmi Narasimha, Jayo Lakshmi Narasimha, Jayo Prahlad Maharaj, Jayo Prahlad Maharaj, Jayo Prahlad Maharaj, Jayo Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada.
Shuddha Bhakti Vinashagari Shri Narasimhadev Bhagwan ki.
Jai.
Vaishnava Bhakti Shesh Pralad Maharaj ki.
Jai.
Go Premanande.
Hari Bol.
Vancha Kalpadrubhascha. Sindhu Devacha. Vedanam Pavanebhyo. Vishnavebhyo Namo Namah.